Code Squad. Today we're going to learn how to add our email text input and our password text input. In addition, our login button so that we can log in our users into our app. Let's get it. All right, Code Squad. So, man, you all should already know how to do this one. It's the login screen. If we did the register screen, the login screen should be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yeah. All right, but Fred, let's go ahead and get it, man. So we go to, let's do Command J. Let's CD into source, then into containers. So we went to source, we went to containers, and now let's make directory, login. There we go. Let's CD into that login. And now let's make our JS files. Touch action.js index.js reducers.js state.js styles.js and the login.js. That looks about right. Yeah. Alright, so I'll just CD out of this. Go back to Navbar practice. Alright. Let's see. So let's go ahead and hop in straight into our index for login. And let's import login from login, and then export default login. And let's go ahead and start building out the login JS file. So we want to import React from React, and we want to say class login extends component. Let's say constructor props super props. Oops, this is supposed to be brackets. This is inside of here. And now we can say this dot state. We want to say email, and we're going to give that a blank local state, such as also password is going to have a blank, an empty string. All right, so now we're going to say render return and let's go ahead and create our view. And something doesn't look right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and create a function to close out anything. We know that we're going to have to handle set email local state. So that's going to be this dot state, this dot set state. Email We're also going to have that for our password. The handle set password. 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 And you might ask, why do I start my functions with the word handle? And that's just because whenever I hold command, shift and press O, I could easily just type in the word handle, and I could look through all my different functions on this JS file. So if I ever forget the name of the function, I could easily go through it because I would know that my function starts with handle. Let's see, render still looks messed up. So that closes out that closes out that, render, view. Okay, so this is supposed to be not a bracket but a parentheses. Alright, now it looks better because it's in green. So this view is going to be have a style equal to styles dot main container view. And let's go ahead and create that main container view. So let's import style sheet, dimensions, from React Native, import style sheet dimensions, constant width height equals dimensions dot get window. Then we're going to have constant styles equals style sheet dot create. All right, so let's add a space between there. Oh, never mind. Man, I'm messing up today. It's supposed to be a bracket, and this is supposed to be a bracket. Space. And what is this saying? Oh, man. This is supposed to be a bracket. This is supposed to be a bracket. Alright, so things are looking better now. Main container view. Let's give it a flex of 1. Background color. Let's hold off on that. And align items. Align items center. Alright, so for this background color, just so for it to be an easy way for me to keep all my colors consistent throughout the whole app, what we're going to say is colors dot light gray background color, and we're going to create this object, import colors from config global. Then we're going to make a colors file, just like we did the Firestore reference file. So let's go into config global We want to create a new file, colors.js, and constant, let me see, colors equals light. Did I copy that? Paste? No, I didn't. Alright, so I'm gonna just copy that instead of type it all out again. And it has a value of RGB 245 245 245. And I'm gonna add a few other colors that I use throughout the app. iOS blue, RGB 0 122 255. I use, we're going to add one more, which is row border color. So you can play around with the colors that you like to use. And this is just a quick way, easy way to keep the colors consistent throughout the whole app. So instead of having to put this constant in, put this string in every time you want to use that same color, you can just call it export colors. What's the error? Export default. Forgot the word default. Alright, so instead of calling a string all the time, you can just call it like this, and therefore it'll always have that same value. And if you want to ever change it wherever you use it, instead of having to go back in and change the RGB here, the string, you can just go here and change this value, and it changes that color throughout the whole app wherever you have that constant. Alright, so we have that. We want to export default export default the styles. And we also have to, this is our login. What's this missing? Semicolon. We have to export default. Man, I cannot spell default. Default login. I have to import styles from styles. There we go. And now let's go back to our app. Let's jump into our app.js. I'm gonna just hold Command Shift and press O, delete the at, and type in app. Then this pops up app.js. So if you ever want to search within at this file, you would have this at symbol. You can search for like functions and different constants and variables. If you want to search throughout the whole app, you can delete the at symbol and just type in whatever you want to search for. So that's a quick jumping tip to jump back and forth. So we're going to import, and let's just delete all this. It's kind of confusing seeing all that green. Let's import our login from source, containers, login. And now we should see like a grayish color. It's taking a while to load for some reason. Alright, so we messed up somewhere. Let's see. It says background color is not valid. So I spelled background color wrong right here. Let's check it out now. Can't find variable view, so I didn't import view. Right here. So I used view, but I never imported it. So we have to import view from React Native. And I'm gonna import some more things that I know that I'm gonna use. We're gonna use a text input for the email password. We're gonna use text for the button. And we're gonna use touchable opacity also for the button. So it's highlighted because, well, it's underlined because I'm not using it yet, but we will use it pretty soon. All right, so we have this kind of lightish gray color, which is our light gray background color. All right, so now let's go ahead and finish building this thing out. So we know that we need the Navbar from our components folder. So import, we're just gonna call it Navbar from, let's see, so it's jump out of that folder, jump out, components, navigation bar down, and we're going to say Navbar title equals, give it a string of login, and let's roll with that. And we're gonna, since we're working with the UI, which is like the layout of the screen, we're going to enable hot reloading so that whenever we press command save, it just pops up. And there it is. Our status bar is gone though. So you know that we can just type in status bar right here and put in status bar. So what we have is Navbar, text input, I'm gonna give it a style equal to styles dot text input placeholder password email address, email address, and we're not going to do underline color Android, but you all know if you're using Android you can. Unchanged text equals to this dot handle set email local state, and we're going to do the same thing for our password. This placeholder is going to be password. Going to add the secure text entry. We're going to say return key type equal to go. Return key type equals to, why does that bracket keep on coming up whenever I press enter? Equal to go. And unchanged text equal to and the bracket didn't come up when I pressed that one. I'm not too sure why not. This dot handle set password. Oh snap. Okay, we'll just delete this one. And unsubmit editing. So whenever we press the button, we could run the this dot handle login function, which we have yet to create. But before we do that, let's add our touchable opacity, which again is our button. I want to say style equal to styles dot sign in text. I'm sorry, sign in button. I'm going to say unpress. So whenever we press the button, we're going to run this dot handle login. And we're going to keep the closing tag, because within here we're going to put a text, and that text is going to say login. And this text is going to have a style equal to styles dot just call it a login text. That's because it's saying this because I don't have a bracket right there. All right, we're in there. Trailing space is not allowed. All right, we're in there. And now we have to create these styles. So text input comes after M, bam, boom. We're going to say border width equal to 1. I want to try style sheet dot hairline width. I remember last time we had the mistake of, not the mistake, but the problem with not really being able to see that. Hopefully we'll be able to see it this time. Border radius 1. Border color. We're going to give it our colors dot row border color. Width 85% of our parent view. Our parent view is the main view container, so it's going to be 85% of the main width. Notice that we can also do what we've always have done and just say create a constant and give a, I don't know, a text input width equal to width times 0.85 and put that text input width right here. So do something like this. They both are valid, they both work. It just depends on whichever one you want to use. To be honest, it might be best if I do it like this because it maintains consistency throughout the whole app. I've done it this way before, but as always, you can change it and just, you can use it either way. Height, we want to say we want it to be 8% of the height. So I'm gonna just do it this way since I've already have it up. Height HEIGHT, and we're going to give it 8% of the total height. We're going to say margin vertical. Let's say 20. It's going to add margin above and below the text input. 20 pixels. Below and above the text input. Font size 18. Padding 8. Remember, that's the padding between the borderline and the first letter of the text. Color black. We have the sign in button, I think S. Let's just call it login button. Login. A B C D O G H I J K L M. So L comes before M. All right, login button. We're going to say background color black. Border radius 2. Width equals the same width as our text input. Our height is text input, the same height as our text input height. Margin vertical, no, I'm tripping. Align item center. And justify content center. All right, so let's go ahead, comma that. Fix all audible, fixable, yeah. And now we got the login button, text input. Now we have to do login text. Login text. We simply want that to have a color white, have a font size of 18, and a font weight of bold. That should be good. That should be good. Let's see. Email address, password, login. And now let's just create the handle login function. And handle login is going to grab the email address, password. That's going to equal this dot state. And let's get that margin or line correct. And we have firebase.auth.signin and retrieve data with email and password. And we're going to put email and password. Then we're going to put .then. Remember, this is a promise, so we're going to grab the user information and so if the user puts in their login information and this sign-in credentials is correct, then this is going to run. So essentially what we would want to do is navigate to the screen that appears after they log in. For now, we're just going to call it custom tab bar. We're going to get to that in another video though, because that's dealing with navigations, which we might cover in the next video. So if we ever get an error, we want to catch that error and console log it. Console.log could not log in with credentials. I'm probably going to spell credentials wrong, but it's all good. And the error, log the error, and that's it, Code Squad. We have our login screen, we have our functions working, and there we go.